presentation of Fox Sports.
Two big-time comebacks north of the border saved the series for the Rays. Now, the Jays come to town, looking to exact a measure of revenge and climb up the standings in the AL East. The Rays and the Jays right now on Sun Sports. Tonight at Tropicana Field, the Rays open a 6-game homestand, fresh off a 3-3 road trip. And the first team in will be the Toronto Blue Jays. First of a 3-game series here tonight inside the comfort of Tropicana Field. The Rays continue to lead in the American League East. They have the best record in baseball, and they are 2 games better than the New York Yankees. Boston running third. The Blue Jays come in running fourth, 4.5 back of the Rays. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to an evening of Rays baseball. Great to have you looking in. With Kevin Kennedy, I'm Dwayne Statz. We'll be joined by Todd Callis throughout the evening as well, and perhaps Brian Anderson on our postgame. Well, the Rays will take on the Toronto Blue Jays, Kevin. They are the sluggingest team in the major leagues. They lead all of baseball in home runs.
Yeah, 97 home runs. I mean, on fire. I mean, they have 9 guys that are probably going to end up at least in double figures in home runs. They've got lefties, they've got righties, they've got Lim, they've got Wells, they've got Batista leading Major League Baseball. The one thing about them, they're early ball, we say first ball fastball hitters, they're just first ball mistake hitters too. If it's a hanging breaking ball early, first pitch, they'll jump on that. I mean, that is by design. That is Cito Gaston and his staff. They want these guys swinging the bat. Therefore, the Rays have to be very conscientious about that. They also lead in strikeouts at 466. And with that, got to expand the zone a little bit against this Toronto Blue Jay offense.
And an interesting pitching matchup going into last Tuesday in Toronto. Brian Talent, who throughout his career has an ERA against the Rays of over 5. He pitched into the 6th inning, did not allow the Rays a run. And Jeff Neiman, who's been so good for the Rays, touched for 5 as he pitched into the 7th in Toronto.
Yeah, you know, Talent painted up pretty well. He went both sides of the plate. He had a pretty good slider against the left-handers, and he painted up and went inside against the right-handed batters and got deep enough in the game. And you know, that was his first start back from coming back from the minor leagues after an injury. And for Jeff Neiman, he's been outstanding, especially at home, but outstanding all season long. He did make a couple of mistakes, but as Jeff said, you know, only a couple of bad pitches that cost him in that game. But it's a game the Rays were able to come back on. And Jeff, you know, he can neutralize this offense because he does have a whole arsenal of pitches, and he will throw some off-speed stuff as well.
And tonight's pitching matchup brought to you by Verizon Wireless. Brian Talent comes in with a mark of 1-1 and a 463 earned run average against Jeff Neiman, who is 5-0, 10th best earned run average in the American League at 279. Pitching matchup brought to you by Verizon Wireless. The Rays have won 4 of 6 games played in the season series between these two clubs, but they've had to pull some comebacks to do it. Todd Callis takes a closer look at that when we return.
The Rays have won 8 consecutive series against Toronto, but it did look like in the last time up in Rogers Center they would actually lose a series against the Blue Jays. They lost the opener on Monday, then on Tuesday and Wednesday they had back-to-back nights where they came from behind to win in the 9th inning. It was the first time in Rays history they won 2 straight road games when trailing after 8. Here's Tuesday in the 9th. Kevin Gregg walked 5 batters in the inning. Carlos Pena was not one of them, trying to call time. Angel Hernandez doesn't grant time. Joe Madden comes out and argues. He gets ejected, but the Rays still were able to come from behind with John Jaso walking. Here's the one that bothered Gregg, the close pitch to Ben Zobrist. Gregg would also get ejected after he was taken out of the game. And then Sean Rodriguez, the big blast, a bases-clearing double. The Rays would score 4 in the 9th inning to win that game. Then the next night, Toronto had never lost back-to-back games at home when leading going into the 9th inning. Until this night, when Reed Brignac provided the difference. Great takeout side here by Ben Zobrist would set the way for Gianna Navarro to tie the game up with that patented Rays first and third bunt. That tied the game. Then Reed Brignac would give the Rays the lead with this slicing base hit to the left. That was for John Jaso. Carl Crawford with the icing. Rays would score 6 runs in that 9th inning to win it 7-3. So our Autoway text poll question of the night brought to you by Autoway. If you need a car, truck, or van, who are you going to call? Call 1-800-SHOP-AUTOWAY. Which was your favorite comeback against the Blue Jays? Tuesday night or Wednesday night? Text TB1 for the Tuesday night Rodriguez bases clearing double. Text TB2 for the Wednesday squeeze play. And then the Carl Crawford slam. Text your vote to 789-789. We are ready for baseball on a Tuesday night. Rays and the Jays. It'll be Jeff Neiman on the mound for Tampa Bay. Brian Powell.
In town, the Rays end with a record of 37-20. Here's the starting lineup put together by Cito Gaston. Fred Lewis again in the leadoff spot, followed by Aaron Hill and Adam Lynn. Vernon Wells in with a 14-game hitting streak, hitting in front of the major's leading home run hitter, Jose Bautista. Lyle Overby is 6th tonight, with John Buck, the catcher, hitting 7th. Edwin Encarnacion is at 3rd. Mike McCoy, the shortstop, the number 9 hitter.
Big right-hander Jeff Neiman on the mound for the Rays tonight in 11 starts. An outstanding 5-0 record with a .279 earned run average, as you said, Dwayne, in the open. That is 10th in the American League. In 71 innings, he has struck out 45, 21 walks, and a .222 opponent's batting average against. The defense for the Rays tonight. In left field, it's Gabe Kapler. In center, it's B.J. Uppett and Ben Zobrist. And right around the infield, Evan Longoria, Reed Brignac, Sean Rodriguez, and Carlos Pena. And behind the plate is Kelly Shopnick. And this defensive alignment is brought to you by Sweet Bay. Live fresh for less.
And there's Joe Madden, the Rays skipper. The Rays 22-8 on the road and 15-12 at home, looking to improve upon their home mark. Fred Lewis in there. He's ready to hit from the very first pitch of the game, which he takes. And that's a strike call. We are underway. 72 comfortable degrees inside Tropicana Field. And a foul ball right back. Lewis out of that leadoff spot comes ready to swing the bat. He's been very good. In fact, his whole career, he's not been afraid to jump on the first pitch. And he's had considerable success doing that.
And here's where you've got to expand the zone, get him to chase, because he has struck out 47 times this year already, only 9 walks.
Pitch is inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And that's one thing that's very interesting when you look at this Toronto lineup. Bautista struck out 49 times. Buck 46. Gonzalez, who's not in the lineup tonight, 48. That one just missed. It's 2-2. Lewis, as you mentioned, Kevin, 47 times. Adam Lind 60 times, and Lyle Overbay 55 times.
Cito Gaston's philosophy is get a good pitch to hit and let it fly. That's it.
And a wave and a miss. It's a tough pitch to hit. A very good pitch, fighting down and in from Neiman. Strikeout number 1.
Very good is right. Let's take a look at this pitch right here. Good backdoor little cutter, breaking ball. Paints the outside corner, and it had depth to it as well. By the bottom dropping out right there. And he swung underneath that, actually. He tried to go down and get it, and he got his legs down, but he swung underneath it.
Here's Aaron Hill. Hill's hitting 186, but that is a marked improvement over his start. He takes a strike. He's been swinging the bat well lately for the Blue Jays, and you knew it was only a matter of time until that average started to work its way up. Sharply hit foul outside of third. 0-2. Blue Jays coming off a 9-game homestand. You can see over his last 6 games he's hitting .320, and on that homestand he hit over .300, and that's more like it for Aaron Hill. Cito Gaston, a couple of World Series championships in the early 90s as the manager of the Toronto Blue Jays, and he's back. A little bit wide. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Nice effort by Jeff right there, trying to go off the outside corner with a nice fastball. Hill's one of those guys. He does have a better strikeout to walk ratio. Not quite 1-to-1, but much better than a lot of the guys in this lineup.
Ground ball to short. Brignac comes up with that one. 2 gone. 2 up, 2 down. Tonight's Rays broadcast on Sun Sports is presented in beautiful HD by H.H. Gregg. Here's Adam Lind. Lind is hitting .210 on the year with 8 home runs, and he's in a stretch now where he's gone 4 for his last 42. And he, like Hill before him, is a much better hitter than that. 1 ball, no strikes.
Well, what you try to do as a hitter, and the Rays have had their share of guys going through this type of slump, is don't let the first 175 at bats affect the next 450 that you're going to have. It's tough to do, and mentally it gets into your head after a while. You want to make it up all in one game or in 1 week, and you just can't do that. Your goal is to try to hit the ball hard, 4 times, and if you do that, you're going to get your couple of hits.
2-0. This one is down, and that's what the Blue Jays point to when people talk about their schedule, and it gets tougher. They're into a period where it's a little tougher now, and later in the second half they're going to have a very tough schedule, but they will point to hitters like Hill and Lind and Overbay and say, you know, these guys are going to hit way more than they've hit already. So they think their club could stay right there. And, you know, if their pitching can hold together, and it appears that it will, you know, they've said when the Rays were up in Toronto last week, they believe they're for real. And you have to agree with them.
Well, they're too deep in the season not to think they're for real. It's over the third mark now. A third of the games have been played in Major League Baseball, and they're only 4.5 out.
Here's Vernon Wells. He's on the 14-game hitting streak. That's a strike. Takes a fastball.
That was a quick reaction. Like, where that ball was down. That's Vernon Wells saying that to himself. I think he wants to say more to the home plate umpire, Mike Estabrook, but shake his head and get back in there.
Runner at first, 2 gone. This one down, and Kelly Shopping comes up with that. 1-1.
You know, the thing is, too, with a team like this, when I talked about them being a first ball, you know, mistake hitting team, you can throw a get it over breaking ball, or you think you can, to a Vernon Wells, and if it's over the heart of the plate, he'll hit that out of the ballpark. So you can see Neiman really trying to make good pitches with his secondary, with his breaking stuff, not just saying, I'm going to just flip a breaking ball over, because these guys will jump on that, too, not just a fastball.
Chases one there. The count is 1-2.
Well, that's what you got to do with this team. They're so aggressive. Make it look enticing, and a high fastball is enticing to a hitter because he sees the whole ball. And if he makes contact, you don't get a chance to get it in the air and hit one out of the ballpark. But Jeff did a nice job getting that one above his hands.
Chopic blocks this one. Breaking ball in the dirt. 2-2.
Nice job by Kelly. He really smothered that well. Ball just dropped right out in front of him. Covered up the hole between his legs. Got his knees down quickly.
First, 2-2 the count to Vernon Wells. And a liner into left. Kepler closes, makes the catch. Breaking ball got him on the line drive. They lead a man. We go to the bottom of the first. No score. It's played up ahead of the DH, Willie Ibar. Kelly Shopping catches. Carlos Pena, Gabe Kapler in left, and then Reed Brignac, the shortstop, hits ninth.
Big lefty Brian Talent on the mound in 4 starts. The Rays saw him last week, of course. Pitched pretty well against Tampa Bay. 4.63 ERA overall.
Jay Upton, first pitch to him. A breaking ball. That's a little wide. 1 ball and no strikes. BJ 5 of 12 lifetime against Talent. So he's in the leadoff spot. Fouls a fastball back. Pretty hittable fastball right there.
And a good swing by BJ. Spit on the curveball, a little breaking ball, and then he got a fastball up and was right on it. Felt it straight back.
Oh, that's a strike. Said Mike Estabrook. Oh, cutting in.
Had some run to it. He couldn't hold up. Trying to go in. Looked like a little slider right here. Pretty good depth to it. Look at that. How far that ball was in.
Wow. Extract didn't like that at all.
No, it was caught backhanded and wasn't received very well either behind the plate.
And there's a foul ball up the right side out of play. You know, in the game that Talent pitched against the Rays up in Toronto, he got a lot of calls. He got some significant, well-timed calls on pitches that were off the plate that were called strikes. And so you wonder if there's not something about the way he delivers the pitch and his movement that somehow, particularly after watching that pitch we called a strike on Upton. I mean, Estabrook's, he has nothing against Upton. He's trying to call balls and strikes, but it was a pitch in. And the same thing happened when the Rays saw him up in Toronto. There were pitches that were clearly off the plate that were called strikes, and obviously they appeared to be strikes to the plate umpire.
Yeah, he's getting he was getting the inside corner in that game you're talking about last week, and off the inside corner, a lot of the right-handers were backing up, even on his fastball. He will throw a cutter also.
It's a foul ball, just a piece of it to stay alive.
Pretty good depth on that slider right there, hitting that back foot. Well, I think, too, watching his delivery last week and then tonight, he's got a pretty good delivery. He hides the ball pretty well. He's 6'7". He's got a good hip turn. It looks, to me, from the home plate vantage points, he hides the ball pretty well.
Well, that one is wide. So a full count to Upton here to start the bottom of the first. And a base hit punched into right field. Took a little fastball the other way there, and BJ's aboard.
Boy, that was a nice at-bat by BJ. Good adjustment and a nice short swing right here. And boy, if he can do more of this, just put it in play. That ball was running in also a little bit. It wasn't a slider, but it was running in. But look at that, just hands right there. Hit right down on it. Drops it into right field for a single.
You know, that's a great point. If BJ could do that more often, he could be so valuable to this team. It appears when he struggles a lot of that time he's in home run mode. He doesn't have to hit home runs to be valuable to this team offensively. With his speed, if he just gets on base, here he is at first, and he's going to be a problem for Talent. He'll divide the attention between the runner and the hitter. Already a toss over there on BJ.
Well, that was the plan for Joe Madden last year. That's why he had BJ leading off for a lot of the year before it just wasn't happening. And finally, Jason Bartlett was hitting so well, especially in the 9 spot, that he took over the leadoff spot. But that was the thought process of Joe Madden.
Sean Rodriguez. And you know, the same applied. Rodriguez, a bunt and a good one. No play on this one. Boy, Sean has been putting down one good bunt after another, and that was a dandy right there for a bunt base hit. The Rays have their first 2 men aboard.
Boy, I'll tell you what, he's done that, 4 or 5 times for base hits already this year when he gets in there. This is perfect. Boy, he can drag bunt down the third base line at the right-handed hitter as good as I've seen in a while.
You know, that's his 5th about hit this year.
Well, then I guess right. I knew it was 4 or 5.
Yep.
But that's smart, setting it up for Longoria. And here's why I like Longoria hitting in the first inning for sure right here.
2 men on with nobody out. They've been 5th in the league in runs batted in with 44. Takes a good look at a pitch in.
Now that's the pitch he was getting in his last start that you're talking about, Dwayne, right there. Of course, we got a different umpire tonight.
A ball, no strikes. And there's a strike. Pitch up, 1-1 to count it. Changeup. Talent will move the ball. He'll move it in different directions with that changeup when it's right. Down and away to the right-handed hitter, and then that fastball has a little run in anyway, and got a little cutter to go with it. Rodriguez first and Upton on second.
Changeup came in at 81 miles an hour.
Two and one. An opportunity early for the Rays, and you better score runs against this team because they've shown the ability to score plenty of runs. They're averaging 5.09 runs a game. The Rays are averaging 5.19 runs a game. That's a strike. It's 2-2. In fact, these two teams are 2 of only 5 teams in the major leagues averaging over 5 runs. 4 of those happen to be in the American League East, and the other ones in the National League. The Cincinnati Reds are averaging a little over 5 runs.
You think it's a tough division?
Wow. 2-2 now, and it's fouled straight back. So another 2-2 pitch to be made.
Well, we've seen fastballs and changeups in this sequence. See if he tries to throw that little slider to the back foot of Evan here. Evan was all over that pitch. 88 fastball, that last one.
And Longoria is out as that pitch came in on him. That's the cutter we're talking about.
Yeah, that's the pitch kind of expected. See the tilt on this when they're coming in. Yeah, pretty good break to it. Really had.
That's really more than
slider
cutter,
break,
isn't it?
Yeah, that's
it had depth to it.
Yeah, I think that's his slider. I mean, he does have a cutter as well, but that had a lot of movement right there and had more depth to it. That's that back foot slider.
That's what it looked like. It's a hard slider at 87. I mean, he's
got a lot of run to it. Yeah, it's probably a cross between both, actually. Cutter and a slider.
In Zobrist, he shoots it foul off speed, and it was a little out in front. Strike one. Rays up by 2 over New York. The Yankees have scored 2 in the first at Baltimore. The Yankees have won 8 out of their last 10 games in Baltimore. And the Orioles, boy, they've had a tough month offensively. They're hitting only 128 with men in scoring position this month, Baltimore.
Yeah, that's kind of a disaster up there, isn't it, Baltimore?
Sure is. That's a shame.
Too bad for Dave Tremblay. I mean, Juan Samuel takes over, but they're going to be looking outside for a manager.
There's a shot, but it's going to be foul. That pitch coming in on him, and he broke his bat. Deposits it out of play. The ball, that is. That's another pitch that ran in on him. 0-2.
Ben's got that batting average before this at bat to 314 with 28 RBIs, and right-handed swinging much better. He's up to 276, left-handed 336. And he's taking on some responsibility as the 4-hitter now, with especially with Jason Bartlett on the disabled list.
Well, he's almost as versatile up and down the lineup as he is defensively.
You're right. He can hit anywhere.
A number of places. This one is down, covered up by Buck. A ball, 2 strikes. Check of the runners. And a pop foul that's going to carry out of play. Change up, and the pitch was fouled into the stands.
They got Ben out in front, of course. Pretty good arm speed on that changeup by Talent. Changeup's been anywhere in this inning from 81 to 84. Gotten right back to that slider / cutter count.
Inside. 2-2. That fastball. It's got some run in on it. So full count.
He likes to pound the righties in, doesn't he?
You got Longoria on a pitch that ran in 2-2, and he's missed a couple times in on Zobrist that way.
The catcher John Buck came in front of the plate giving signs, and what he's going to do on a steal attempt, he's going to throw to second base. If you don't come out and give signs to your infield in this situation, normally you throw to third unless you're going to change it and throw to second on a double steal attempt.
Wave and a miss. He tantalized him with that changeup one more time.
Yep. 3-2 changeup in a hitter's count. It's a good pitch, good call. Was a strike as well. Take a look at the defense for the Toronto Blue Jays tonight. Behind Brian Talent, around the outfield left to right. Fred Lewis, Vernon Wells, and Jose Bautista around the infield left to right. Edwin and Carson Facion, Mike McCoy, Aaron Hill, and Lyle Overbay. And behind the plate is John Buck. And this defensive alignment review brought to you by Sweet Bay. Live fresh for less.
Well, there's Willie Ibar, the designated hitter. The Rays are hoping he can do exactly that right up here in the first inning with 2 men on and 2 men out. 1-0. Only 245 for the year, and 241 as a right-handed hitter. Time called. Upton inching off, widening his lead at second. First game of the homestand. Blue Jays in for 3, and then the Marlins. It's low.
Change up right there. Well, the pattern so far against all the right-handed hitters here for the Rays is fastball, slider, cutter in, and change up away. I don't think he's thrown but maybe one fastball away this whole inning.
Ball there for a strike.
Might be the first one away after a couple of changeups.
A 2-1 count to Ibar. 3 balls and a strike, and he came back with a changeup wide.
Not unusual for the Rays, of course, to drive the pitch count up already.
Yep. Beyond the mid-20s right now. Bounding ball back at third. Encarnacion steps on third for the force to retire the side. We're at the end of an inning, no score. Have big Jeff Neiman on the mound against Toronto Blue Jays. The season underway. It's still not too late to team up with the Rays this season with Rays season tickets. Get the best seats, biggest savings, and all the great benefits, including postseason opportunities by calling 888-FAN-RAYS or visiting RaysBaseball.com. Jose Bautista. Short was on the bat and takes the pitch. That's in there for a strike.
I asked Jose why the difference this year in home run power and his swing. He said he's getting his timing down. He said Dwayne Murphy saw from the side that he wasn't getting that front foot down in time. The timing was off. He's got that little leg kick.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Which is common. We've talked about that with leg kick guys many times.
Boy, it's always about timing, isn't it?
You bet.
I mean, that's what pitchers try to destroy in a hitter. Upset timing.
That's why the off-speed pitch, the changeup, is so effective.
Still the ball, 2 strikes.
You know, you lift that front leg, and you're, you know, you do generate more power from the lower half of your body when you do that. But if you drift when you do that, you don't stay back. That's where the off-speed stuff really hurts you. But he's been getting that foot up and getting it down and staying back in the back leg so far this year.
This one, breaking ball in the dirt, skipping to the backstop, and it's 2-2.
But they've got, this ball club has a hit first philosophy. Not worried about taking a walk at all. They want to hit their way aboard, and most of the time it's for extra base power, obviously.
And back off the mound, deflecting to Rodriguez, who makes a nice play. That ball hit the pitcher's mound, and Rodriguez was there to take care of it to get Bautista.
That's twice now we've seen good defensive alignment. Rodriguez in perfect position up the middle, and then a Brignac on Aaron Hill's bullet was in the hole in the first inning. So good alignment defensively already. The chart's showing true so far. Take a look at where Rodriguez is. He's right there. Just a crossover step and shuffle, and he's got it.
pitch to Lyle Overbay. 1 ball, no strikes. Well, Overbay had been hitting 5th, and Cito Gaston dropped him into the 7th spot. And I don't know if that was the move that really kick-started him, but boy, he started to swing the bat very well. Now he's up hitting 6th. 2-0. One out with the bases empty. 2-1. Fastball for Jeff Neiman, and there and a strike.
Toronto's taken a few more pitches this game than we saw last game, but don't let that fool you. They're going to entice you into that. Oh yeah, we're going to take. Not.
And a strike on the inside part of the plate. You know, I thought the comments that Neiman made were pretty interesting coming out of that start he made against the Blue Jays up there. He gave up 5 runs. He says the hardest thing to do is not to change when things don't go your way. He's still, you know, he has an approach. He makes good pitches. He thought he made some good ones there. And he just missed on a pitch right there. A fastball in a little bit. And it's a full count.
Well, there's 3 good pitches in a row. Talking about not changing. The first 2 worked. That one just did miss. Had a little tail to it, too, around the inside corner.
A tap to the right side. Pena is going to make the play unassisted. 2 up and 2 down. Base is empty here in the 2nd inning. Sign up at Kane's Furniture for a chance to meet one of your favorite Rays players. And if Rays pitchers come up with 10 strikeouts in a game at home, log on to canestrikeout.com. Get a coupon for a free Papa John's pizza. Get to Cane's today. Now John Buck. First pitch, fastball strike. Buck, one of the 2 home runs that gave up in Toronto. Buck hit a 2-2 breaking ball for a home run. The other one was Fred Lewis, who hit a changeup at the bottom of the 1st inning. He led off with a home run. 2 strikes the count to Buck right now.
Yeah, and that's, you know, that was the right pitch selection. Jeff just got that curveball up, the breaking ball up a little bit. Buck jumped all over it, pretty long ways.
With a fastball, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
But that's what you're alluding to, and what Jeff was talking about. And, you know, it wasn't about pitch selection in that game for Jeff. Just made a couple of mistakes, and with this ball club, leading baseball with 97 homers, they're going to hurt you.
And a foul ball. Fastball up and in a little bit. Darting in toward Buck, and he fouled it. Yeah, against this club, of course, they do strike out a lot. They hit a lot of home runs. You don't want to start walking people.
No.
Because they're likely to hit 1 or 2 home runs.
Yeah, solos won't beat you. I mean, solo home runs are 1 run. Those crooked numbers that hurt you. Those 3-run home runs that open up games.
2-2. 97 home runs already. Strike 3 call. They got him looking on a fastball. Struck him out. 2nd strikeout of the night for Jeff Neiman. We go to the Rays half of the 2nd. us by a Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, moving forward. And by AT&T, find out what's possible with the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, rethink possible. In the bottom of the second inning here at Tropicana Field, it will be Kelly Shoppick. Kelly rejoined the club on the road trip after having his right knee worked on and then rehabbing that. A handful of games in Durham. Back active, and he bounces the first pitch under the glove of Encarnacion, but McCoy, the shortstop, is there, and he throws out the Rays catcher. One away. That's going to bring Carlos Pena to the plate as Shoppick is out. Short to first. It would have been nice if Encarnacion had somehow made contact with that ground ball.
Yeah, McCoy didn't flinch. Kelly, not a great runner, of course, for speed, and had plenty of time, McCoy, to make the play, but you're right. It would have been nice just to hit the tip of the glove, wouldn't it? Just, kick it into left field.
Now Carlos Pena batting against the shift. That's a strike. Carlos now with 9 home runs, and with that first pitch strike, Encarnacion moves away from third and way over toward the shortstop side, shading the middle. One and one. Carlos connected in the 4th inning of the game on Sunday in Texas for his 9th home run of the year.
Only 1 hit to left field, and even in left field, they're bunching him. They're playing him to left center right now.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
For that reason right there. See their left fielder, Fred Lewis, the left of your screen there. He's pretty much in left center field. I mean, the whole third base side of the infield and all of left field is open. But Carlos doesn't hit that way. When he does hit the left field, it usually is left center. Look at that room right there.
2-2.
The only way you beat the shift, of course, is to go that way. If they're going to pitch you away, hit that way. Especially with 2 strikes. Early in the count, I know Carlos wants to stay in his swing. He doesn't want to be taken out of that, but you got to keep him honest by using that field and going the other way once in a while.
And strike 3 is called. Pena caught looking for the second out.
High strike, same as the first pitch of this sequence, up in a zone. Let's take a look. That looked more like the cutter there, Dwayne. About 85 and top part of the zone. A little cut action to it.
So 2 up, 2 down for Gabe Kapler. And a strike on the outside corner, a fastball. Fastball's been in the 88 to 89 range.
Yeah, you get the read on his pitches. Changeup's about 81, 80 to 84. Cutter, you just saw the Pena 85. There's the slider, 87. So you start getting a read on now on all of his pitches as you get through the lineup the first time. The Rays are usually pretty good at adjusting the second and third time around. He's thrown a couple of slow curveballs too.
And he picks up a strike zone again with a cutter up, and the count is 1-2. It's amazing. The Rays record 17-7 when the opposition runs a left-handed starter out there, and yet they're hitting only .235 against lefties this year. And a popper into shallow left. McCoy out from shortstop, makes the catch to retire the side. 1-2-3 go the Rays through 2, no score. very best during that stretch. There's the strike, and that's coming off a rookie season when he had the 5th best all-time winning percentage among American League rookies. 1-1 now, and that goes with a couple of pretty good names. CC Sabathia was 17-5 his rookie year, and he had the 2nd best winning percentage for a rookie pitcher. There's a strike behind a guy named Russ Ford, who pitched for the Yankees in 1910.
Wow.
And he was 26-6. Now that's a pretty good rookie year. But last year, Neiman went 13-6. He had a .684 winning percentage, the 5th best ever in the American League winning percentage for a rookie pitcher. Oh, that's a strike. Strike 3 called. Encarnacion looked at a fastball away. He's out of there.
Well, you talk to the hitters too in the American League, and they'll tell you. I mean, he's tough because he can throw that curveball and they come back and paint you up like this with a fastball in the outside corner. Right before this pitch, he threw that spike curveball. Look at this location. You know, and he's always got a little run to his ball too. Nothing's really straight for Jeff, and he's able to repeat his delivery. As big as he is and all the moving parts, he got good mechanics.
I have Mike McCoy, and he takes a pitch. I guess this is not telling a story out of school, but you know, the team was just in Texas, and they stayed in Fort Worth when they played the Rangers in Arlington. Pitch is down, and I did happen to run into Jeff Neiman. He's a Texas kid. He's from Houston.
Right.
He was in a dance hall. Perfectly normal place for a Texan to be.
You bet.
He was two-stepping and a pretty good job at it too. And I told Jim Hickey, the pitching coach, I said, here's a guy who could throw a strike with 6 different pitches and two-step. And Hickey said that's why he's undefeated.
He's 6'9" and he can
Exactly.
two-step.
Yeah.
And he's doing it very smoothly.
Ground ball down to third. Longoria's got it. The throw to first. So 2 up and 2 down. Be sure to read the St. Petersburg Times, the official newspaper of the Rays. You could win a suite for you, your friends, and your entire family to watch the Rays when they take on the New York Yankees August 1st. Entry forms are available in the Sunday St. Petersburg Times through July 4th. Here's Fred Lewis. Making ball to start him, and that's taken low. 1 ball to no strikes.
Where was that?
Well, Lewis was a little surprised at a pitch the first time around. And there's a strike.
Here's the first pitch to Fred Lewis. I mean, it's a good call right here. It's a breaking ball. Where did that miss? Too much of the plate? Right at the knees. It's a great pitch. I think it fooled everybody.
Swing and a miss at the fastball.
You know, by the way, I want to make note. Kelly Shopik went out to the mound when the count went 2-0 on McCoy, and I like that because, you know, he's saying, hey, no disrespect. This is the number 9 hitter. Let's just go right at him. Very nice picks. You know, hits a 1-hopper to Evan Longoria at third base. But that's good leadership when you do that behind the plate.
Upstairs.
That lineup turning over. You don't want that number 9 hitter getting things started.
2 outs. Base is empty. 2-2 the count.
Those are little things that I know Joe Madden and the staff they look for. You look for that kind of stuff. Of course, I'm always thinking as a manager, so I notice that when catchers do things like that, or Carlos Pena will come in sometimes, and people say, "What is he talking about?" Just to break it up a little bit when the guy gets behind, 2-0 or 3-0.
Swing and a miss. He blows the fastball by him. Second time he struck out Lewis. 1-2-3. Just a reminder, the Rays host the Florida Marlins coming up this weekend, and after the game you can catch country superstar Dierks Bentley in the Summer Concert Series presented by Hess Express. Visit RaysBaseball.com to get your tickets. It'll be this Saturday. Just releasing his new album Up on the Ridge this week, so we might hear something from that as well as Feel That Fire. And what was I thinking?
This guy's good.
Yes, he is. We're looking forward to that. Reed Brignac. Pitch is in there for a strike. Yeah, he's likely to give you a little bit of everything from honky-tonk to bluegrass and classic country, a little modern rock and roll mixed in there. 1-1. All of those have influenced his music. And he's a 7-time Grammy winner. At least he's been nominated 7 times. I don't know how many times he's won, but
no, he's good. He's really good.
So that'll be fun. That's Saturday when the Marlins are here. 2-1 the count to Reed Brignac now. I'm gonna guess that nobody will leave Saturday after the game.
No,
for that concert.
Well, you know where we'll be.
Yeah, absolutely. We got our spot staked out already. Liner in the center field. It's going to hang up there for Vernon Wells, who makes the catch, and Brignac pretty good swing against the lefty right there. 1 out. You know, I mentioned that 26-game winner Russ Ford with the Yankees in 1910, and I probably didn't give him the due. I said, a guy named Russ Ford, 1-0, and of course he did play in the dead ball era, pitched in 1910, but there were some pretty good pitchers in that era as well. This pitch is down. 2-0 the count. And he was only the 3rd player in Major League history to win 20 games and strike out at least 200 hitters in his first season, along with Christy Mathewson and Grover Cleveland Alexander.
Well, now you're giving him his due.
There you are.
You mentioned those other names.
Yeah, you got to give him something there. But they say he was, and I didn't know this, I just checked him out. He was the guy who invented the emery ball, the scuff ball. So he was pretty enterprising as well.
He's the one, huh?
Yeah, that's it. He used a little piece of emery and scuffed up the baseball with it, and he's the guy they attribute was the first to do that. Well, he won 26 games his rookie year.
That was called getting the edge in those days.
That's it.
Right?
That's right. Yeah, he was getting the edge, that's for sure. They say he not only threw that, there's a one-hopper to short. McCoy, long throw, and ball loose on the throw over to Overbay. And George Hendrick right there letting up to know that the ball was loose and to make sure that he stayed in foul territory and did not make a break towards second because the play was being backed up by the catcher, John Buck.
And you like that BJ runs right through the bag hard. Big hop. He got a big hop right at the end, McCoy did. Shuffled his feet a little bit, and then short hops Overbay, and he just can't come up with it.
And watch Cuz. George Hendrick saying, make sure you stay and don't break towards second.
BJ heard him, too. I don't even think the ball was short hop. It looked like it just went right off the glove.
Well, the initial ruling is an E6. So we'll see. Upton at first with 1 out. Here's Sean Rodriguez. A low peg over there by Talon. So Upton's on for the 2nd time. BJ 17 out of 21 in the steal department. And the pitch is a fastball in there for a strike, and Talent hurried up his
Here's that
delivery.
play. Here's Overby now reaching with 2 hands, and really, if you reach with 1 hand, you've got more range. See how back leg is bent and front leg is bent, which is fine, but he reaches with 2 hands, and that limits your stretch when you do that. If he goes out there with 1 hand, he picks that ball probably 6 inches off the ground. The error goes to McCoy, but really, I think Overby reaching for 2 hands on that one. I think he was thinking it's going to bounce. I want to keep it in front. Probably his thought process there. That's an error that could have gone either way.
And the Rays trying to take advantage. Upton aboard at first with his speed. Pitch inside. 1-1.
Talbot's trying to pound inside to get the right-handers to back up on it like they did over there in Toronto. 50 pitches already. Good job by the Rays working the count as usual.
The pitch is popped up right side. Hill starts out. Bautista coming in, runs him off the play. And the right fielder Bautista makes the catch. 2 gone. So Upton's still at first with 2 outs. And here's a reminder to look for the Miller Lite Taste Greatness moment coming up later in tonight's game. So Evan Longoria prepares to hit. Hey, one more word on Ford. You talk about pitchers having advantage. You're pitching in the dead ball era. You can throw the Emery ball. He also threw a spitball and a knuckleball to go with a fastball.
Wow, I would have had no chance in that era. It's tough enough in this era.
Evan Longoria, and the pitch is a strike. No wonder he won 26 games.
Yeah, kidding.
Rookie year. But anyway, Jeff Neiman is in that company of rookie pitchers with the top winning percentages, and his is number 5 on that list. To first, and Upton is back in. And with all the pitches he commands, there's not an Emery pitch or a knuckleball or a spitball among all the pitches that Neiman throws.
Not that we know of. Just kidding. No, he's legit.
Pitch out, nothing doing right there. It's a 1-1 count.
That's a pretty obvious pitch out count, the 0-1 count. Of course, you can double up on it if you want. I don't know that I would with Evan Longoria at the plate. On BJ, I let Evan swing the bat until it gets 2 strikes. Unless you absolutely read his leg kick.
Toss to first.
Because the threat of him running is going to help Evan Longoria. I mean, you just try to take once he steals second base, I mean, you're going to pitch around Evan. And once you're at first base, like right now, you know, the distraction there for Brian Talley, he's got a little concentration on BJ, and he might make a mistake to Evan right here.
BJ leaning off first. The pitch is lined over the shortstop's head into left center field. BJ will go to third. Lewis with the throw back to second. And the Rays will have men at first and third with 2 gone. Another scoring opportunity presents itself.
See, that's a good job by BJ. He just obviously was faking he was going to go, and you saw a slide step by Talent, and Evan just has a nice fluid swing right through a pitch just above his knees. A shot into left field for the first and third pitcher. See BJ right there, just quick delivery to the plate, and a hittable pitch for Evan Longoria.
Well, it's up to Ben Zobrist here in the third if the Rays are to break this scoreless tie. Scoop by Encarnacion with a throw to Hill with a force at second, and at the end of 3 we remain scoreless. Rays and the Blue Jays, game one of the series, and it's time for our AT&T Mobility Trivia question of the night. Jeff Neiman, the Rays' first-round draft pick in 04, the fourth overall. Who were the Rays' second and third picks in that draft? 2004. It's a topic that is very timely as we go to the fourth, and Aaron Hill leads it off. Of course, the last couple days, very busy for the Rays with the Major League Amateur Draft underway. The Rays have done quite well. As a matter of fact, as we play here in the fourth, Todd Callis is standing by with the Rays Director of Scouting, R.J. Harrison, to give us a full update on that. Todd?
Dwayne, thanks a lot, RJ. Before we start talking about individual players in the top 3 picks, just show you the top 10 picks you guys made overall, and tell us what you really liked at the beginning of this draft yesterday and today.
Well, what I really liked was we got a bunch of players that we coveted, and the draft fell into place for us really well. We got 2 high school bats that we really like. We got a young kid that we think's got a chance to be a big league catcher, and that's a pretty good place to start on the first day of the draft.
Aaron Hill hit by a pitch from Jeff Neiman to start things off here in the fourth inning. Let's talk about the first 3. And you had number 17 overall. Got a kid out of Seattle, Josh Saleh. Tell us about what he brings to the table, not only as a player, but really his makeup.
Well, he's got tremendous makeup. He's a real unique kid. He's a very focused, for an 18-year-old, extremely mature, and he's got a real good support system. We've spent a lot of time up there, and our area guy Paul Kirsch has done a really good job with that, and everybody's been up there has had an opportunity to spend time with Josh and with his family. So we just feel really good about the person that we have, not to mention the ability.
Power hitting corner outfielder, you don't always see that in high school.
No, and it's real power. We're not projecting, it's real.
How about the second pick, Justin O'Connor? When you first started scouting him, he wasn't a catcher. How did he become the best high school catching prospect in that short of time? Well,
what's happened is this is a kid that wanted to catch. So, we saw him out playing all last summer and during the fall.
Pretty nice turn right there, Sean Rodriguez to Reed Brignac.
We saw him all fall and last summer as a shortstop, third baseman, and pitcher. And the 2 things that stick out are the above-average arm strength and the above-average raw power. And he's a baseball player, and that's a really good combination. And when you take an infielder who's got soft hands and he wants to go behind the plate and he got a good, strong body, it's a good combination. And I think that he's got every chance to make this transition. Everything we saw points in the right direction.
You go back to the Pacific Northwest for your number 3 pick, Drew Vedelson. He's got that interesting story being an ambidextrous pitcher, but you've got him. Actually, we're going to have to cut this short here as Evan Longoria makes the play. Quick inning, guys. Back to you.
Outstanding double play started by Rodriguez.
The Rays. We started talking about Drew Vettleson. He's a unique story. Your third pick and 42nd overall, ambidextrous pitcher, but you don't see him as a pitcher. You like what he does with the bat.
Right. We have him as a left-handed hitting, right-handed throwing corner outfielder. He's a right fielder. He's got a plus arm and a bat that a kid that we really were, highly valued and happy to have him. We think he's a good-looking young left-handed hitter.
You really were active in that Pacific Northwest, not just the first day, but day two as well.
Yeah, it just kind of fell into place. I mean, there were some good players up there, and as the draft unfolded, those were the guys that were there for us. And again, we have a really good area scout up there. Paul Kirsch's been with us for 15 years, and he knows the area, he knows the people, has a lot of connections, and when you go up there, you're not just seeing those kids play, but you're getting to know them. I've spent time with all those kids. Our people that have gone under have spent time with all those kids, met the families and that sort of thing. It's really a good situation.
McCoy makes a fine play on Ibar for the first out here in the bottom of the fourth. Final question. When you kind of did your projections day one and what you actually came away with, were you very pleased? How would you rank what happened yesterday?
It was a really good day. We were happy when we left yesterday.
I know you've got another busy day tomorrow. Thanks for the time, RJ.
All right, Todd, thanks.
RJ Harrison, Director of Scouting. 2 days in the books, guys. One more to go tomorrow. Back to you.
All right, the first pitch to Kelly Shopik is wide, a ball and no strikes. Well, I would say that it was a pretty good day. They got a hitter, their third pick, Vettleson, who's projected as the best bat in the entire draft, the best high school hitter. There's a high fly ball to right. Bautista back to make the catch on this one. Then they get the best throwing catcher and the #1 ranked catcher in the draft. And then those two guys were behind Josh Solly, a big power man. Hey, let's take a look at the AT&T Mobility Trivia answer with 2 outs and the bases empty in the fourth. Jeff Neiman in that 04 draft, who were the second and third picks for the Rays in 04 behind Neiman. How about this? That's a pretty good class in itself. Reed Brignac and Wade Davis.
That's a good draft right there. You bet.
Carlos Pena hitting one foul, hit it hard but foul. Andy Sonnenstein came out of that draft in 04. And Fernando Perez was in that draft. So the Rays hopeful that they're setting up this 2010 draft to be as good as that one, because they're very happy with what they've been able to draft so far this year with another day to go. Oh, a shot hit high and deep and gone. Home run for Carlos Pena. He tees off on an 0-1 pitch. Hits his 10th home run of the year, and the Rays lead 1-0. There's a blast and a half for Carlos Pena.
Talking about power a minute ago. Wow. That was a blast. Immediately. On contact. Gone.
So the Rays have the first run. Here's a strike to Kapler.
Those are good signs, Dwayne. Last couple of games now. Carlos hitting one in Texas on Sunday and one right here.
And that smile is bigger than ever.
Oh, boy.
It's a smile all the time, but especially a smile after hitting a ball that far and that hard. 2 strikes to count to Kapler now.
I had a chance to catch up with Carlos before the game, and we've had a pretty good relationship the year that I've been here, and we developed a nice rapport. And I texted him the other day, and I got it from you. I wanted to get his cell again. And you guys were up in Toronto. I was just disgusted with what I saw with some of the umpiring, what happened to Carlos and then Sean Rodriguez, and I just, not doing every game, but I'm watching when I'm not doing them, and I feel for this team.
I see you looking over our shoulder.
Yeah, and I wanted to text Carlos to hang in there and keep fighting. And when we talked today, he texted me back. We talked today, and he said, hey, he still had that smile on this afternoon. I said, hey, just keep going, keep grinding. Keep grinding, keep staying positive. Of course, he does. Look at him. He's in the $175 coming in. You wouldn't know it.
He's given the Rays the lead here in the fourth. 2-2 the count on Gabe Kapler. Bouncer foul.
Well, we talked about three key guys in this lineup. And Pena being one of them, no doubt. BJ Upton the other, and then Jason Bartlett when he gets back.
Yep.
You know, those are three key starters in this lineup. BJ swinging the bat better last couple of days. Pena the same thing, and I'm certain Jason Bartlett will.
2-2, and there's a blooper into shallow left, but out goes the shortstop McCoy to make the catch, and that retires the side. Rays with a long one off the bat of Carlos Pena. Here it is. Couple days of getting on base. Sunday's game in Texas, he was on 5 times. He's been on twice tonight. So BJ Upton keeping the edge. You too can keep your edge with Just for Men mustache and beard. Jose Bautista takes a breaking ball and it just missed. 1 ball, no strikes. He was out second to first his first time on a shot that hit the mound and bounded out to Rodriguez. By the way, Rodriguez starting that double play in the fourth, ranging far to his left. He was very, very good, and in the middle of that Brignac, we're seeing some outstanding play out of those 2 young infielders. But what a great play by Rodriguez.
It was
starting the double play.
Yeah, it took a base hit away from Lynn.
A high fly ball right center, and Zobrist, after giving a look at Upton, makes the catch. I think Ben was ready to defer to the center fielder, gave a look to BJ, and BJ said, "No, you take it this time."
A little smile, get an assist right, get it put out.
1 away. Battle for bragging rights in the Sunshine State. The Marlins and the Rays face off. It's the Checkers Citrus Series right here on Sun Sports. Our coverage begins Friday at 6:30 with Game 1 of that series. Lyle Overbeck. Pitch is down. Ball and no strikes.
Now, they pounded Overbay in. They threw 6 fastballs in and finally got him in the second inning on a ground ball to Carlos Pena.
And a ground ball to second. Rodriguez makes the play. 2 away. Two up, 2 down.
This particular sequence, they went away with 2 fastballs and still got Overbay to hit to the right side.
Speaking of that Marlins series, we see where they're preparing for that series because they brought up Mike Stanton.
Saw that. Yep.
They're a 20-year-old power prospect. So they're loading up.
Yeah, they're getting prepared. They're looking beyond Philadelphia, although they're beating the Phillies right now 6-4 in Philadelphia.
Oh, no, the count to Buck, and he fouls this one back. 1-1.
We were just talking about the draft. Todd was with R.J. Harrison, and, it's just draft time, and it changes your life as a youngster coming out of high school or college, because now you turn professional when you do sign, and, you get acclimated into pro ball. And these days, guys are moving up the ladder fast. Steven Strasburg made his first start tonight. He's still pitching, of course, for the Nationals. #1 overall draft pick just a year ago.
Pop-up foul ball right side, and a great attempt by Chopik, and Neiman had to leap over him. They had Pena, Neiman, and Chopik all after that one, and Chopik laid himself out there in a diving attempt, and Neiman took some evasive action as Pena peeled off. Great effort by all three, especially Chopik.
Yeah, it sure was. Laying out for his ball club right there. Didn't miss it by much. Great effort. Neiman showing that two-step athleticism that he has. Avoids Kelly Chopik.
Kelly, great effort.
Kelly made a great play, by the way, on Sunday when Carlos Pena threw out a ground ball at home, and he blocked home plate.
Yep.
I believe it was Vladdy.
Yes, he did.
Guerrero. And he blocked it with his left leg. I mean, here's a guy just coming off of rehab and got hurt early in the season blocking the plate. He had no fear. He just stayed right with it and blocked Vladdy and saved a run right there. And that was a tough win the other day on Sunday. They had a huge win off that road trip.
Yeah, that was in the 4th inning of that game. And it was a 3-2 game. That was a potential tying run right there. And Chopik had some work done on his right knee and exposed the left knee. And we talked about it at the time. Even exposing the left knee, that leaves the right knee exposed too because of the pivot movement in that knee. There's a strike call right at the knees. Buck out, and that retires the side. Bottom of the 5th coming. 1-0 Tampa Bay. By Dodge Ram Trucks, award-winning Ram trucks, plus a new heavy-duty, making one of the most powerful lineups in Ram history. All is well in the Rays touch tank out there. No home runs headed in that direction so far. Although Carlos Pena pulled one out of here into the seats in right field in the 4th. And here's Reed Brignac to lead it off. Takes one wide from the lefty talent. 1-0. Brignac, then the top of the order, Upton and Rodriguez. Takes it down. You can see him shorten up on the bat. 2-0. Rays end with a record of 37-20. That's the best record in the major leagues. And held the major league's best record now for 51 days.
That's remarkable. It really is. That's tough to do. Come out of spring training with the best record in Florida, and you continue that at the start of the season, and you're still there.
There's ball 4. Brignac draws a walk to start the home half of the 5th. That's B.J. Upton to the plate again.
Says a lot about the Rays, though. They're in a tough division in baseball, and they've maintained that even through the tough times the last couple of weeks. The wins haven't come easily. And you come off that road trip in Toronto and Texas, and you're 3-3. I mean, you've got to be pleased, really.
Yeah, it's really been a battle the last couple of weeks. The Rays have gone 5-8 in their last 13 games. And a base hit into right again. Brignac will stop as Bautista comes up with the ball. Second hit of the night for Upton, and both have been into right field.
Really, really impressive. BJ going the other way again. This is what he's got to do because, as you said, Dwayne, the home runs will come automatically. But look at that. Down on the ball, good balance, head right down through it. Not trying to pull it. Nice short swing. Brignac had to hold, by the way. Bautista closed fast. He got to that ball very quickly. The ball was hit so hard, so he did the right thing, staying right there at second. Jays looking for a bunt, of course. First and second, nobody out.
And the pitch, a breaking ball, curveball in for a strike.
Well, the question here is if Rodriguez does bunt for a sacrifice, do you pitch to Longoria? And my answer would be no. If I'm Cito Gaston. So that's probably why early at least the bunt wasn't on. Now Sean may bunt on his own. I got to believe that's what Joe Madden was thinking. They might take the bat right out of Evans' hands, set up a double play situation for Zobrist.
And he shows bunt now. He offered on the appeal, says Brian Runge down at first. The count's going to go to 2 strikes on Sean.
Yeah, that was on his own right there. That wasn't by the bench. Take a look. Sean's doing this late on his own. He's bunting for a hit again. No, he held up. Wow. He pulled back. Not a good call. Sean was right. He did not offer at that. And that's what Joe Madden and David Martinez. So you can see from the dugout that the side if he went or not. They're not going to argue, width of the pitch, but they'll argue if the guy went or not, or height.
And this one hits him. So Sean Rodriguez is hit by the pitch. That's going to load the bases. Brian Runge's a little conversation going with the Rays dugout on that appeal. That's history now, but he missed the call, but he's claiming that he didn't. And now Cito wants to see if he can get another call out of Runge to see if Rodriguez offered at that pitch. And Runge says no to Cito. He said, excuse me, I'm interrupting your conversation with the Rays dugout, but I just thought we'd check with you. So the bases are going to be loaded.
No, that wasn't even close. That's the last pitch. You see how Sean brought the head of the bat right back to his chest to make sure that wasn't called. But Cito's asking for the last call to be strike 3. Joe was talking about strike 2.
Now, there is an element of humor in all of that. But particularly when Runge was pretty animated in his response to the Rays dugout.
Yeah, he just waved Joe off. I mean, but again, as a manager, you can see that from the dugout. So Joe Madden was right on strike two. He did not go. Sean Rodriguez did not throw. So I don't really like that Joe was just waved off like that. Like, you know, forget about it. What are you talking about?
So the bases are loaded, and here's Evan Longoria. Evan 1 for 2. Big opportunity now for the Rays. And Evan whips it foul back at first into the seats. Strike one.
Got the changeup, it looked like again. 83-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch right there.
It's inside. Fastball off the plate end. 1-1. Rays got a run in the fourth on the Pena home run. Walk, single, and a hit batter, and they're loaded. The bases are loaded. Here in the fifth, they're all based up. The 1-1. And it's hit sharply foul. And down into the bullpen. 1-2 now.
And a lot of ways now for Talent to go. He could try to go in with a cutter. He can go slider, the back foot. He can go changeup. Evan very well aware of that too.
Low, covered up nicely by Buck. 2-2.
Evan spit on that one. Looked like the off speed, the changeup. 81 miles an hour.
The Rays have the right guy up there, it would seem. 2-2 the count. Bases loaded. Nobody out. And a line drive, base hit into left. Brignac scores. Upton's on his way to the plate. And the Rays add two. They take a 3-0 lead. Longoria driving in. His 45th and 46th runs of the year with a line single into left. Rodriguez stopped at second.
Nice adjustment by Evan. Ball ran right back down and in to Evan's swing. Nice short swing though. See, used the back leg to get down to get through that ball so he didn't hit it on the ground. Otherwise that's a double play ball, but that's a nice piece of hitting by Evan.
And that's going to be it for Talents. Cito Gaston wants the left-hander. That'll turn Ben Zobrist around. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Metro PCS, wireless for all. This Friday, the Rays take on the Marlins, and the first 10,000 fans receive a collectible Carlos Pena t-shirt presented by the St. Petersburg Times. Visit RaysBaseball.com to get your tickets today. Well, another left-hander, Rami Lewis, now with runners at first and second. Longoria at first and Rodriguez at second. And Ben Zobrist, who was 0 for 2 from the right side against Talent, is down the bunt, up the first baseline, and foul. That's a strike.
Yeah, Ben's just trying to get more guys in scoring position. Doesn't have to hit the 3-run home run himself. He's just trying to set up for Ibar and Shopik.
13th appearance for Lewis. The Rays saw him briefly in the Tuesday game up in Toronto. Oh, that's a strike call, the fastball. Pretty good stuff on that one. In the mid-90s, 0-2.
And 95 on the outside corner. See the splits on Ben, 276 right-handed, which is better. He's batting average from right side has gotten a lot better than it was a couple of weeks ago.
Down and in. A ball and 2 strikes. By much with that fastball. 2-2.
Looked like the height was okay. Might have been in. Pretty tough pitch right there. Just missed. According to Mike Estabrook behind the plate.
And a full count to Ben. 2 runs home, 2 men on. Nobody out. Talent pitched 4 innings plus. Responsible for 2 base runners on right now.
Yeah, I don't know that Joe is going to put the runners on here. 3-2. I don't know that he wants to run himself out of it, just in case Ben does strike out.
And a swing and a miss. A fastball up. So he went up for the fastball and is out number 1.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons that the runners weren't in motion. This fastball just has some, looks like it has some ride on it. It looks like a strike at first to Ben. And then it looks like it has ride up and above his hands.
Now it's Willie Ibar with 2 men on and 1 out. It. The fastball the other way. Lewis, Rami Lewis, was originally signed by the Baltimore Orioles. He was drafted in the 01 draft and pitched in their minor league system, and then in 05 just left the game. He was not happy and got out of the game for that reason. This one was a bit wide. 1-1, and he said, hey, I'll go deliver pizzas, and that's what he did.
Well, that's a pretty good left-handed arm to be out of the game.
Yep.
94, 95 mile an hour fastball.
So he stepped away for a time and then missed that year and let the Orioles know that he'd like to come back. And Scott McGregor, who was one of his minor league pitching coaches, hoped to welcome him back. There's a line drive and a base hit into center. Rodriguez on his way to the plate. Wells makes the throw to third. The Rays have their 4th run. Willie Ibar drives in the run. Longoria stops at second on the RBI by Ibar.
Willie Ibar right here. He gets a 1-1 fastball right down the middle, and that's what you do with a fastball right down the middle, go right back through the middle. And he does. He turns 94 around. RBI single. Sean Rodriguez had a great jump. He was off on contact. He knew that was a base hit immediately.
So it's a 3-run inning and a 4-run night so far for the Rays. Now it's Kelly shopping.
So Rami Lewis is delivering pizzas, huh?
That's right. Can you imagine that with his arm?
No,
I mean, he didn't have to drive him to your neighborhood. He could just throw him to your neighborhood and get him there in record time.
Did he find out that working for a living is tough?
Yeah, really. I'll tell you. One strike to count.
Yeah, it's tough, you know. You've seen a lot of guys get back in the game, you know, out for a year, come back. Well, how about Gabe Kapler? I mean, he was managing.
Yeah.
You know what? I can still play. You know, you're only young once.
Yeah. Pitch is inside. So you're telling me that it's not really a state of mind, that you really are only young once?
I think that's it. Yeah. It's, you know, if you can't catch up with 94, if you're like what happened to Junior Griffey, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not fun anymore. You know? When it's not fun anymore and you realize you can't perform to your expectations or what you're used to, then it's time to get out.
This one is down 2-1. Well, you might have a great state of mind, but if you lose your fastball or if you can't hit it, this game will let you know.
Yeah, some of us couldn't hit it when we were physically fit and a good state of mind and 29, 30 years old.
A 2-1 count to Kelly.
Let alone Ford with that Emery ball. Forget that.
Yeah,
spitball, you got all that stuff too.
Spitball, an Emery ball, a knuckleball, fastball. 3-1.
I wonder it was a dead ball there. The balls are all messed up for crying out loud.
That's right. And the ball wasn't as hard then. Didn't go as far.
He probably used one for the whole game, right?
Yeah.
Throw it back in.
After a while, he didn't have to use the Emery. It was scuffed up already.
That's what we did as kids, right?
Yeah.
Tape it up. Patch it.
3-1 is ball 4. Going to load the bases for the Rays. They're loaded for Carlos Pena. Hey, get in on the 2010 Rays action. Get exclusive on-field seating in the Checkers Bullpen Cafe. Available dates are filling up fast. Act now to make your private group reservations right behind the Rays bullpen by calling 727-825-3406 or go online at RaysBaseball.com. Bases loaded. Carlos Pena hit the homer off the lefty Brian Talent in the 4th.
The cutter right there. See, it's a flat cutter. Same plane. Just a little bit of a break. Carlos is all over.
There's Pena again. And he takes a fastball for a strike.
Yeah, that's no cutter there. That's 95 on the black. No trickery with that pitch. That's just, can he catch up with it or not?
Rays have him loaded. Pena hits one. High and deep, and that baby is gone. What a blast for Pena. A grand slam home run for Carlos Pena. He turned that one around. A solo homer in the 4th and a grand slam here in
breaking ball. Hanger up. Like a slider. 85. After a 95 fastball, 85 up. Slider. Forget about it. Launched.
Now Kepler fouls one back. Carl Crawford hit the grand slam in Toronto against the Blue Jays, and Carlos Pena had just hit one, and the crowd wants an acknowledgement, and there it is. They love that Carlos Pena smile, and they love the long ball even more.
Well, you know, Carlos, one of the best guys anybody will ever meet, so you pull for Carlos, like a guy like that. I mean, it's been a scuffle all season long with the batting average and the strikeouts. You never see Carlos down. I mean, internally, I'm sure it's bothered. Of course it has. He's human, but you never see him affect his defense. You never see him not engaged with the ball club, pulling for his teammates.
Kepler lines it to the shortstop McCoy, who makes the catch for the out. 2 gone. So it's a 7-run inning. Carlos hitting his 11th home run of the year.
I think I'll just text him now so he has the message already. You know, stay positive, keep grinding.
Well, that's his 7th career Grand Slam. 4 of those have come in a Rays uniform. Pitch is down to Brignac. Reed started all this when he drew a walk against Talent. Upstairs.
You know what's amazing, Dwayne? You and I talked about this last homestand. I mean, with the 5 RBIs tonight, he's got 39 RBIs.
Yeah, how about that?
I mean, you're hitting a .175 and you've still driven in 39.
Yeah, he's on track to drive in well over 100 runs.
Right.
2-1 as Lewis delivered that pitch up and Brignac chased it.
Well, you know, the 2 guys that are in the lineup we talked about tonight are Upton and Pena that have to produce for the Rays to get the offense going. Of course, we mentioned Jason Bartlett, too, on the DL, but both guys have tonight, and they did Sunday as well.
Brignac lifts it into center. Wells is there. Makes the catch, and the Rays are finished, but they send 10 men to the plate. They score 7 runs, leave nobody, and at the end, much the same start to start, even after giving up 5 his last time out.
Well, the thing is, I threw the ball well last game, I felt like, and there's a few, 2 or 3 pitches here or there, but over the course of the game, you can't really bring it down to that kind of close to the snapshot. So, should go out there, keep doing what we've been doing, and hopefully it'll work.
Well, it's worked so far tonight. A first pitch strike here to Encarnacion to start the 6th. 64 pitches through 5, and now an 0-2 count here to Encarnacion. Jeff Neiman delivering our Geico quote of the game. And that really has been his strong suit. The consistency of his approach and the consistency of his execution. 1-2 the count.
Well, the 13.8 pitches per inning is the fewest in the major leagues. I mean, he throws all of his pitches, and he throws them all for strikes.
And he can two-step very well.
Yeah, and he can jump over Kelly Shopping.
Yeah, there you go. Grabbed by Brignac. So Encarnacion is out of there. Brignac to Pena. He's going to get Mike McCoy up there, the shortstop, with 1 out and the base is empty. For all the latest updates on the Rays, log on to TampaBay.com. From the diamond to the clubhouse and everywhere in between, we'll bring you in-depth news, stories, and scores 24 hours a day only at TampaBay.com. McCoy went out 3rd to 1st his first time. And a breaking pitch in there for a strike on the first pitch.
Nice overhand spike curveball.
This one a little wide, 1-1. 5 strikeouts for Neiman. McCoy started to go, but check. 2-1. Neiman gave up a 2-out walk to Adam Lind in the first inning. And then he hit Aaron Hill in the 4th. And Hill was quickly erased on a double play ball off the bat of Adam Lind. And Rodriguez made a nice play. Ground ball and a base hit through the hole just in between Longoria and Brignac. And that's the first hit allowed by Neiman tonight. 5 1/3 no-hit innings for Jeff Neiman before McCoy slipped that one in between Longoria and Brignac.
Well, that tells you how hard it is to throw a perfect game or a no-hitter. That's the first hit right there, because that ball, wasn't hit hard, but got it right in the seam between 3rd and short. McCoy gets the base hit.
And now Lewis takes a pitch for a ball. 1 on, 1 out.
I like that pitch. That was a nice looking.
He's had a couple of those tonight that
took a little off, turned it over
on the way.
Yeah. That missed by much. It was a pretty good pitch.
Down and in. 2 balls, no strikes.
I'll tell you, that double play ball we were talking about that Sean Rodriguez and Brignac turned in the 4th, that was a momentum changer right there. That was a huge play. Would have been 1st and 3rd.
Yep, leadoff man had reached. Instead, they turned it into 2 outs. Well, the Rays continue to do that night in and night out. If you want to see some outstanding defensive work, that's almost a guarantee. This team turns 3 to 5 outstanding defensive plays, I think, on a nightly basis.
Even the first play here for the first out, Brignac made a nice play coming in. You kind of take that for granted if you're just watching, but those aren't easy plays. And he gathered himself, picked it on the run to get the hop that he wanted.
Yeah, Brignac's play this year has been outstanding, and as much, I think, attention as his offense and his approach, his swing has gotten, his glove work has been superb.
Yeah, really valuable playing both second and short now for Bartlett.
Duwan is popped up left side. Longoria is right there in foul territory. 2 outs. McCoy still at first with the base hit. And the hitter's Aaron Hill.
You know, and Sean Rodriguez has been impressive defensively too.
Yes, he has. He's hung in. You know, he started that double play, but we've seen him on numerous occasions hang in the middle of a double play and take a pretty good shot and still complete the double play. There's a strike. That's why hitters, you know, extra players, and you know, he could turn out to be an everyday player. It's really unfair to reference him as an extra player, but that's what he's been here as a young player on this team. This is a very good team, and it's why it's so important to have those guys who are good skill players, because they can turn base hits into outs. And Longoria down to second to get the force play right there to retire the side. We go to the bottom of innings. Through Feeding America Tampa Bay, Florida's leading hunger relief agency. To date, Home Runs for Food has donated $25,500 to Feeding America Tampa Bay. Rays with a big lead. They'll have B.J. Upton to open the 6th inning, the home half of the inning, against Rami Lewis, the lefty. B.J. fouls it back. That's a strike.
Good swings all night long for BJ.
And he's been on base 3 times. 2 hits, and he reached on an error.
Average is starting to climb a little bit, slowly but surely.
There's a strike, a fastball. 0-2.
You know, I'm not sure how the home plate umpire could really see that he swung or not. I know that he probably did, but they call that so fast, like they could see that.
One ball, 2 strikes. Leading off the inning. 2-2. Sean Rodriguez next, and then Evan Longoria. Rays with a run in the 4th on the home run by Carlos Pena. And then 7 in the 5th. 4 coming on the grand slam by Carlos Pena.
How about Evan now? 46 RBIs. 11 home runs.
2-2 the count here to BJ. Goes full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Blue Jay is on again for the 4th time tonight. He goes to first on the walk, and let's check in with Todd Cowles.
Right, thank you very much. We have Logan and Noah Miller with us. They have written, they have directed, and they are starring in a movie called Touching Home. We also have Tara Schroeder with us from the Tampa Theater. That's where it's going to open up on Friday. Logan, we'll start with you. Tell us about this personal story, true story, and how it became a film.
So our dad was homeless for the last 15 years of his life, and he ended up passing away in jail, and we had written a movie about his life, and we made about him that we were going to tell a story.
Ed Harris, 4-time Oscar nominee, stars in this film. And how do you get Ed Harris involved in your film?
We cornered him in an alley.
Really?
Yeah, no joke. He always was the number one guy to play the role of our father, and we read in the San Francisco Chronicle that he was coming to San Francisco, and we're from just north of San Francisco. So we said, okay, we're going to go to the Castro Theater, and we're going to talk to him. And we ended up sneaking backstage and getting his attention and asking him if he'd come into the alley with us so we could show him this little trailer that we'd shot. And he came into the alley with us, and he liked what he saw, and then we gave him the script, and he called us 9 days later.
Pretty good convincing job right there. Now, you actually played with the Blue Jays, right?
Yeah.
In the Blue Jays organization?
Yeah, I played in Dunedin for 2 years.
Okay. So you guys try and get to the big leagues, and it's really a story about how that was your tribute to your dad?
Yeah, it's a story of us trying to pursue our dream of professional baseball, and at the same time trying to help our father, who was homeless, get back on his feet and really sort of it's a family drama about real people dealing with real problems. At the same time, trying to follow their dreams.
Tara, I know this is a special program, a special time for you at Tampa Theater to have this movie in town.
Oh, we're thrilled. We have lots of great movies at Tampa Theater, but we're so lucky to have the actual filmmakers in. And they're going to be at all the shows on Friday and Saturday, talking to the audience, answering questions, telling about their amazing story of how they got here.
And it is an amazing story to get that film finished. Guys, last question. Is that always, after baseball was over, that was always your dream to be able to tell this story to the world?
Oh, no, we didn't know what we wanted to do, and we just sort of, I guess, fell into it, really.
After you cornered Ed Harris, you fell.
Yeah, right after.
A little bit before that, but we knew we always wanted to do something that we loved, and so
baseball was our first love, and
watching movies was our second. So.
Oh, there you go. Well, it's all at the Tampa Theater beginning Friday, guys. Logan, Noah Miller, Tara Schroeder, thank you very much. Back to you.
Well, a great story indeed to turn that into a positive. And,
that is.
That's a little ingenuity to go with talent and some stick-to-itiveness right
I'm
there.
intrigued by it now. I want to see it. It's good stuff right there.
2-2 to Sean Rodriguez. He shoots it into center field. Wells back to make the catch, and B.J. Upton will retreat to first base. He's over there now with one out.
Good at bat by Sean Rodriguez. Well, he keeps hitting that ball to center and right center and stays on the ball longer. He's gonna get his batting average up there. It already is. It's up to 245 coming in.
Here's Evan Longoria. Drops in for a strike. Rod Talent started, gave up 5 runs in 4+ innings on 6 hits, 3 runs charged to Rami Lewis. One and one the count. Two and one. Evan 2 for 3. He has a run scored and the 2 runs batted in. And is ahead of the count. 3 balls and a strike. Takes it to 3-2.
It's a rare 3-1 fastball that he wanted.
Tapper to third. Encarnacion to first, and the scoop over there by Overbay. So Upton winds up at second. He's there with 2 outs. Don't forget, fans, it's time to vote your favorite Ray into the 2010 All-Star Game. Visit RaysBaseball.com to place your vote today. So far, so good for Evan Longoria. Carl Crawford's getting a lot of support. Keep it up. And there's a guy who should perhaps start to enter the All-Star discussion.
Yeah, you and I were talking in the break about that. I got to believe he's got to be at the top of the list. I think of the starters, he and David Price. So far, you have to really think that the Rays still have the best record in baseball. Of course, the All-Star game is a month away.
Ben Zobrist hits it on the ground. Diving stop, and Encarnacion cannot make the throw. That was a great stop as Upton goes to third, and Zobrist is aboard with a base hit.
Yeah, it saved a run. It was a nice stop by Edwin Encarnacion, and it should be and goes as a base hit. Great play, stretched out. Just couldn't get to it with the transfer, and he was going to have to throw from his knees anyway. It would have been a very tough play to make it as it was.
For the Rays, their 9th hit. Willie Ibar. That's in there. Strike call. We singled in a run and scored a run in the 7-run 5th. And there's a soft liner in the right for a base hit. Upton will score, and Zobrist stops at second. The Rays make it 9-0. Ibar picking up his 2nd run batted into the game. So it's 1st and 2nd. 2 outs, and Cito Gaston heads to the mound. The Rays have gotten to Lewis now for 4 runs. And that's going to be it for the lefty. We'll be back with a new pitch. On the Rays link and submit your question for Rays broadcasters, and then tune in Wednesday. That would be tomorrow. Tune in at 6:30 for the pregame, 7 o'clock for game coverage on Sun Sports. We'll do our best to answer your questions right on the air. Submit your questions to foxsportsflorida.com. Casey Jansen, the right-hander, on for the 22nd time. He's on to face Kelly Shopping. He inherits a couple of runners with 2 outs in the inning. Pitch is upstairs, 1-0. A fastball from the right-hander. 5 off the starter Talent and 4 so far off Lewis. It's a strike at the knees. Shopping 1-1. Well, how about this? Carlos Pena's on deck, so if Shopping could get aboard.
What
Who knows, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Carlos has a solo homer and a grand slam tonight.
It's good to see, too, the last couple of games, some runs put on the board, some crooked numbers. Get the offense going here, get the confidence going for everybody, especially Carlos. 3 home runs in the last 2 games.
2-1 to count to Shopping. Squares it at 2-2. Nine runs, 10 hits for the Rays. They had 9 runs, 13 hits Sunday. They won the final game of the series in Texas. Is out on strikes to retire the side. Rays had a run. We're through 6. 9-0 Tampa Bay. Haynes looked great, feel great in the undershirt with the lay flat collar. Lays flat no matter what. Only from Haynes. Rafael Soriano has been looking good. He's converted all 15 save opportunities for the Rays. Go with a couple of wins. Adam Lind looks at a strike. has walked and grounded into a double play. He made a bid for a base hit, and Rodriguez, ranging to his left on a sharply hit ball, started what turned out to be a double play. 0-2 now.
Yeah, and that was a definite momentum changer. Kept the game at 0-0. Instead of first and third, nobody out, became a double play. 2 outs, nobody on, with Vernon Wells coming up in the 4th inning.
Pitch is up. 1 ball, 2 strikes. How about the debut of Steven Strasburg? Pittsburgh batting in the top of the 9th with Washington leading 5-2. Strasburg worked 7 innings in that game and struck out 14.
Washington national franchise record.
Yep, he struck out already. The last 7 men he faced.
Incredible. His stuff's incredible. It really is.
That's going to be a little base hit the other way, a 1-hop single into left. That's the 2nd hit given up by Neiman tonight. So Strasburg out after 7, and here's a pretty good debut for Steven Strasburg tonight.
Well, not only 14 strikeouts, how about 0 walks to go with it? That is some kind of outstanding debut in the big leagues.
94 pitches through 7. Wells goes after this one and pops it up. Rodriguez in second, settles under it. That's the first out. And apparently a full house in Washington. That's good news for the Nationals. Our good friend Jim Riggleman.
Yeah.
Getting
good man.
Yes, he is. And, and a nice shot in the arm for his pitching staff right there.
Well, you're not kidding. You know,
and they're great for Jim and the Nationals.
And then they get Bryce Harper as the #1 pick overall. They're going to put in the outfield, probably right field. Junior college. Jeez. 2 good #1 picks back to back.
Here is Jose Bautista. And apparently the whole team going to start to wear that vertical eye black now.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that shot of that. Harper. What a swing. Boy, a lot of video of him. They have that today. You didn't have that 20 years ago, even 15 years ago, of all these high school, JC, college players. Some college, but most of the younger guys at high school and you didn't have any video of these guys. Now you got all kinds of scouting information, video material to show, televised on national radio as well.
1-1 the count to Bautista. And it's low. 2-1.
Oh, it's fun to see the Rays. I saw the video of the young Rays pick #1. Nice left-handed power swing.
Yep. And the Rays, as we discussed earlier, and Jay Harrison was outlining, the Rays a very good first couple of days of the draft here. They're very pleased. That's a strike on the outside edge, and it's 2-2 to Bautista.
See Jose talking to himself and letting the umpire know the ball he thought was outside. Ball's away. What he was muttering right there.
Sharply hit on a line to third. That's the hot corner, and Evan Longoria took care of that hot shot. 2 gone.
That is a bullet, and that's why they call it just what you said, the hot corner, because it gets on you in a hurry. It's a reactionary position, and Evan was right there. Timed it perfectly.
Overbay Man at first, 2 gone. He takes a strike. Overbay with 2 ground ball outs, 1 to first and 1 to the right side at second base tonight.
You know, he's seen all fastballs tonight, too. Both at bats, and now the first pitch here in his 3rd at bat.
Takes one off the plate end. 1-1 now.
He hasn't seen any over the heart of the plate, though. First at bat, Jeff pounded him in inside corner for the ground out to Pena, and then the last at bat, 2 fastballs away, and Overbay rolled over to Sean Rodriguez.
That's a strike. There's a breaking ball there. 1-2. Rays have 9 runs, 10 hits. Blue Jays, no runs, 2 hits. And a shot back into center field. Upton on the run is there and makes the catch, retiring the side. No runs, a hit with a man left. 7th inning stretch time. Rays lead 9-0. Bottom of the 7th, the Rays have built a 9-0 lead on the strength of 2 Carlos Pena home runs, including a grand slam home run. His 19th career multi-home run game, 11 of those coming with the Rays. And the first pitch here is a strike. He was geared for something a little harder than what he got. Solo home run in the 4th and a grand slam for Carlos in the 5th inning. Kapler and Bremyak to follow. Cut by Carlos. Missed the fastball. 2 strikes the count.
Carlos, you got it, baby. You got it.
You could see Jansen trying to get the grip of whatever pitch he's going to throw, or you see his hand in there shuffling the ball around.
0-2. Two strikes. Carlos hit his grand slam, and for that matter, the solo home run off a left-hander. He hit the solo shot off Brian Talent, the grand slam off Rami Lewis. That's the first grand slam he's hit off a left-hander. The other 6 all against right-handed pitching.
He got a hanging slider, and he stayed on it from Rami Lewis for that grand slam.
Yeah, he hit one of those, no question about it, shows.
Oh, yeah. Both his home runs tonight, really.
Three balls, 2 strikes.
Well,
there you go.
Jansen's thrown everything to him. Changeup, cutters, fastballs, curveball, sliders. He's thrown everything.
Casey Jansen, the third Toronto pitcher. 3-2 pitch. And a foul back. There's the first one. That came off Talent. Both on 0-1 pitches. The grand slam on an 0-1 slider.
I like the hesitation. Just for a beat. Just had to watch it for a second. Didn't show anybody up.
And there's ball 4. He draws the walk. Leadoff man aboard. Just a reminder, fans, go to foxsportsflorida.com, and there you can vote for the Tampa Bay Rays' top memorable moment that you'd like to see replayed right here on Sun Sports. Would it be Wade Boggs' 3,000th hit, the 08 ALCS game clincher, sending the Rays to the World Series? You can catch that replay. Season 2's premiere. Kapler takes a strike.
Good at bat, by the way, by Carlos Pena. The reason that's important is because he's had a great night tonight, and looks like the Rays are on their way to a victory.
Line drive and a base hit for Kapler into center. Carlos will stop at second. The 11th hit of the night for the Rays, and the first hit for Kapler.
But for Carlos Pena, every at bat's important, to not chase pitches and not expand his own zone. And so that's a nice walk for him, because he got behind the count and he didn't chase. So you're still building up not just the home runs tonight, but for tomorrow night and the next night. He's got to bunch together, 3 or 4 good at bats every single night, not just one night. That was a good to see him work the count there and draw the walk.
Reed Brignac in the batter's box. Upstairs, 1-0. With that base hit for Kapler, everybody in the Rays lineup has been on base one way or another tonight. 9 runs, 11 hits, 4 walks drawn, a hit batter. Runs high, 2-0.
Come on, knock it out.
That's line foul toward the bullpen. Brignac will need a new bat. It's cutting in on him.
Yeah, you're right. Jansen throws a lot of cutters. That's exactly what that was.
Sets up the strike zone. 2-2. Takes care of Brignac. Second strikeout for Jansen.
Reed saw a cookie right there. I think he tried to lift that one. I think he was going for a long shot right there, long ball.
Well, here's B.J. Upton. Has been on base 4 times tonight. And he takes a fastball. That's a strike. He was on 5 times Sunday in Texas against the Rangers. 2 singles, an error, and a walk tonight, allowing him to reach. Ball, 1 strike. Rays and the Blue Jays tomorrow night, and a very good pitching matchup. David Price and Sean Markham in game 2 of this series. Blue Jays in, followed by the Florida Marlins. Two and one. Jansen first got to the big leagues in 06. He's had some shoulder issues. Popper in the shallow right, cutting out his Hill, and he makes the catch. Out from second base, 2 outs. In fact, Jansen missed the entire season in 08 with shoulder issues, and then rehab. Spent a good part of last year at various stops in the Blue Jays system before finally rejoining the big club. He'll face Sean Rodriguez.
Net average up to 248. A good at bat. His last at bat, he lined out to deep center in 6th.
Was that one for a strike? Sean had a bunt single in the first, was hit by a pitch and scored in the 5th. 5-2, Washington beat Pittsburgh. Strasburg pitched 7 and picked up the victory in his major league debut. Foul ball, that's going to be back into the upper deck. 0-2. Strike 3 call. 7th inning is over. The Rays leave a couple. On to the 8th. 9-0 Tampa Bay. Jaguar performers of the game. 5 strikeouts on the night. He's walked 1 and allowed 2 hits.
Oh, he has really painted it up, too. He's gone up and down in the zone, north and south, east and west. Really nothing over the heart of the plate. Has had excellent command of all of his pitches, and that's why you see the line 7 innings and only 2 hits given up, no earned runs.
John Buck leads off the 8th. First pitch is down. Fly ball, center field. DJ is there and makes the catch. 1 away. Let's take a look at tonight's Miller Lite Taste Greatness moment. And this double play started by Sean Rodriguez. Kevin, you mentioned it. It was a double play that at the time turned the situation around a little bit for the Rays. It was scoreless at that point and prevented the Blue Jays from mounting a scoring opportunity.
Yeah, after Hill was hit by the pitch leading off the 4th, that play you just saw was Adam Lynn. He hit a sharp ground ball. Looked like it was headed for right field. It was just scooped up nicely. Sean stayed down on it and did a nice turn with his back to the infield, threw a strike, and a good turn by Brainiac. Good fluid turn.
In the bottom of the 4th, Pena opened the scoring with a solo home run. The Rays have built a 9-0 lead. Here's a breaking ball for strike 2. The aggressive Edwin Encarnacion ready to step into that pitch and found himself leaning away.
There's that spike curveball. Might have got a break on that one.
And he's out swinging this time on the breaking ball. Came right back away. Strikeout number 6 for Neiman.
That's a great pitch right there. Great 2-strike pitch. Had plenty of the plate to the hitter, it looked like, and then it just fades down and away.
Mike McCoy. There you go. He did not. Says Brian Runge, 1-0. So 100 pitches made now by Neiman. The ball loose from the Toronto bullpen. Mid windup there by Jeff.
Well, he's even got good peripheral vision, you know, and awareness. Besides being a good 2-stepper.
There's David Percy down there in the bullpen, the lefty. Fly ball right down the middle to B.J. Upton, and it's a 1-2-3 8th. Home half of the 8th coming, and the Rays Auto Way. By Checkers, Little Place, Big Taste. And by Tobacco Free Florida. Escape the addiction of tobacco. Be free. Visit FloridaQuitline.com. Rays lead 9-0. They've out-hit Toronto 11-2. We get set to move into the bottom of the 8th. And David Percy will be the new pitcher. The 4th of the night for Cito Gaston. Percy follows Talent, Lewis, and Jansen to the mound. Which is high, a ball and no strikes. The Rays have a big lead here. The Yankees have a big lead in Baltimore. 12-3. It's up the right side and will be foul. And it's 1-1.
It's a pretty familiar statement against the Orioles, isn't it?
Sure is. The way the Yankees have enjoyed success up there. They're about to win their 9th game of their last 11 in Baltimore.
Wow. 12-3 score.
1-1 to count to Evan. Fastball high, 2-1. Padres and the Mets are in the bottom of the 10th, tied 1-1. You know, the Padres, who, by the way, the Rays will be playing here in interleague play. And that might be a team you would want to see. It easily overlooked, but I'm telling you, the Padres, among the best National League teams, they are 16-11 on the road.
Well, they have very good pitching. Not known on a national scale yet, but they have really good, and they have a good bullpen.
Evan fouls it away, and the count is full.
That's not an easy matchup.
Yeah, they will be here. Let's see, the Rays have the Blue Jays, and they have the Marlins on this homestand. Then they go to Atlanta and to Florida to North Miami to play the Marlins. And then they'll come home to play the Padres on the 22nd. The Padres in for 3 and the Diamondbacks for 3. That's one headed for the corner. And they run a hop and then skip out of play. So a ground rule double for Longoria. That's his 3rd hit tonight, giving him 3 for 5, and that's our Chuckers double of the game.
And look at this pitch. I mean, he just goes the other way. Nice short swing. I love when I see Evan do that. I mean, that's why his batting average has been hovering around 315, 320 all year, because he's using the field with 2 strikes. He knows he's not going to get something in that he can turn on, and he shoots it in the right field. There's your Chuckers double of the game. Nice piece of hitting.
Now it's Ben Zobrist. And hits it on the ground to 3rd. Encarnacion with the throw to 1st. So Ben is out of there, 1 away with a man at 2nd. Let's check in with Todd Callis.
One of these unusual nights, Dwayne, where the Rays and the Jays aren't in a close battle. It seems like most of them this year have been tight games, including the 2 up in Toronto where the Rays came from behind to win in the 9th inning. And that is our Ottaway text poll question of the evening. Which was your favorite comeback win versus the Jays? It was the first time in Rays history they won back-to-back road games in the 9th inning. Tuesday night, you had the Carlos Pena ejection, the final out of the game, and Sean Rodriguez was able to clear the bases with a double. That's TB1, or TB2, the Wednesday game, which involved the Deoner Navarro safety squeeze. Then Reed Brignac gave the Rays the lead before Carl Crawford cleared the bases with a grand slam. So text your vote to 789-789. TB1 for the Tuesday night game, TB2 for the Wednesday night game. Brought to you by Ottaway. Call 1-800-SHOP-Ottaway, guys.
1 strike to count to Willie Ibar. And he fouls this fastball back. He was trying to unload on that 0-1 fastball.
Can you pick both of those comebacks?
Yeah, I'll tell you. Aren't they great? Those are.
Wow.
You know, and Joe Madden said the other day, and somebody asked him, I think when the club was in Texas, about those comeback wins. What is it about this club that makes that possible? He said, we just play hard every inning.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah, that was me asking him on Saturday. He didn't get him interview.
There's a foul ball back.
Well, I know he's been asked that a lot of times. I did ask him. I wanted to know what his thoughts were, because obviously I wasn't there on that Toronto trip, but he said exactly that. They played 9 innings.
And that was one of his main messages all the way back to spring training. And he looked at last year's performance and what they were going to have to do to contend this year. And he says, you're going to have to play in the 8th and 9th inning as hard as you do in the 1st and 2nd innings. Well, that intensity's got to be the same from start to finish.
And to me, that's why I said that walk that Pena drew in the 7th, and even this double here, not giving up at bats by Longoria. This game, is in hand tonight, there's no doubt. But you just good at bats every night, no matter what the score is. It carries over to the next day, and there's a confidence, a good feel about yourself. This game, looked like when they got the 7-run inning in the 5th that it was pretty much in hand, but you keep playing.
And a fly ball lifted into center. Wells is there. 2 gone. 2 outs with Longoria at second for Kelly Shopping.
I can tell you this, Dwayne, in talking to some of the guys in Texas on the other sig, some of the executives, they are very well aware of the Rays. Even though the Rays didn't have much success in Texas the last couple of years, although the big win Sunday, they're aware of that. But no matter what the lead is, this club will not quit, and how resilient they are. So that reputation is around the American League for sure. That's part of the reasons why they're able to come back and win in Toronto, those 2 games.
Kelly Shopping fouling the fastball back. Kelly's 0 for 3, walked and scored in the 5th inning. We're in the bottom of the 8th now. And David Price and Sean Markham tomorrow night. Thursday night, Wade Davis against the lefty Brett Cecil. Shopping, 0-2.
Yeah, got one out of his reach right there, too high, up above his hands.
Rays did all their scoring so far down the middle part of this game. Run in the 4th, the 7-run 5th, and another run in the 6th inning. It's a ball and 2 strike count.
He thought he'd try it again, go up the ladder on Kelly for the strikeout.
And that is strike 3 call, retiring the side. Rays leave a man. Wade To the Pediatric Cancer Foundation for every Tampa Bay Rays home run televised on Sun Sports. 2 tonight off the bat of Carlos Pena. A solo shot in the 4th and a grand slam in the 5th. We now go to the 9th inning. Fred Lewis, top of the order, leads off and lifts a fly ball into center. Upton is there, and he makes the catch. 1 pitch and 1 out for Jeff Neiman, who's trying to go the distance for the first time this year. Jeff had 2 complete games last year, 2 complete game shutouts.
And he's very economical once again with the pitch count. 102 pitches, 1 pitch out here in the 9th inning.
Darren Hill, the pitch is high. He's given up 2 hits tonight. He blanked Kansas City on 2 hits last year on the 3rd of June. And there's a strike, 1-1. Then he threw a 7-hit shutout on July the 10th against Oakland. That one by plenty.
He was just guessing fastball there. He thought he'd get a nice fastball, and he didn't see it. Well, Jeff has never stopped pitching. That's why 9-0, 7-0, 8-0. He's been pitching the same as if the game was 1-0.
And a foul ball back. So that puts him at 106 pitches with that last pitch. 111 is his high pitch count this year. And Hill lays off this breaking ball as it's low, 2-2.
I like that Kelly Shopping's still blocking pitches too. He's had a tough night at the plate. That's the last couple of bats, strikeouts, but he doesn't carry it to his defense. He used to call a shutout for Jeff Neiman.
And a tap foul. He made 118 pitches in the 7-hit shutout against Oakland last July. And in that 2-hitter against Kansas City, he made only 100 pitches. A 2-hitter, he struck out 9 and walked 1 in that game. Two again, and that's all 3. So it's a full count.
So far, he hasn't had any real rough innings. So the pitch count that he's at is maybe different than he's had 2 or 3 rough innings where he's had to work real hard.
This is only his 2nd full count tonight and only his 3rd 3-ball count. This one is fouled. He went 3-2 to Overbay back in the 2nd, and he had a 3-0 count when he walked Lind on 4 pitches in the first.
And when I say work real hard, I don't mean he's not working hard. He is. Against this lineup especially, he's working hard. All I'm saying is he didn't have to go through 2 or 3 innings where he had a lot of men on base. He really had to grind it out from the stretch.
Another tap foul, so an extended at bat for Hill. This is a 9-pitch at bat so far. He's reached his season's equal to high pitch count now at 111. Ground ball to third. Right there is Longoria. The throw to first in time. So 2 away. 2 up, 2 down in the 8th. So the bases are empty with 2 outs for Adam Lind.
That at bat right there, Dwayne, might have been the toughest grind him out at bat he's had to work through to make sure he threw a strike there to let his defense help him.
to Adam Lind is too low. A ball and no strikes. So Neiman trying to get the final out here in the ninth, and tie a bow on this one. A fly ball into right. Ben Zobrist is there, and the Rays are winners. A 9-0 two-hit shutout tonight. The Rays score 9 runs on 12 hits in support of the big right-hander Jeff Neiman. Neiman retired 11 of the last 12 men he faced. He throws a 2-hit shutout for the second time in his career. It is his 3rd career shutout. He has 3 complete games in the major leagues, and all 3 have been shutouts. One against Kansas City, the 2-hitter, one against Oakland, the 7-hitter, and a 2-hitter tonight against the Toronto Blue Jays, the sluggingest team in the major leagues. They led the league. They led the major leagues in slugging percentage coming in. And Jeff Neiman has thrown a 2-hit shutout against this club.
Here's the final out. In the air, and he knows it. He knows it's not out of the ballpark. What a performance by Jeff Neiman. That impeccable command, both sides of the plate. Changed speeds well, used everything. Nice job behind the plate also by Kelly Shopping.
So it's a 9-0 final as Neiman extends his record to 6-0 on the year. Talent, the losing pitcher, now 1-2. Time of the game, 2 hours and 54 minutes. And right now, let's go to the field and Todd Callis.
He's getting a